Let me show you why. Some doctors, like the responsible ones that are talking about the response to this, how ridiculous it is, and how dangerous these types of recommendations are, and even how tough it is on them as they go forward in their profession in this country. But there's another doctor. He's also a senator. His name is Bill Cassidy. He's also the same guy that I highlighted before, running away from questions about the confirmation of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his ridiculous approach to vaccines.
Do you regret your vote on RFK Jr.?
You can refer to our tweet on that.
I'm asking the question. And I know you have some different questions, but you're trying to get us something similar. And this is not going to come in.
Thank you, guys.
About whether
That'll be all.
still stand by that vote.
Bill Cassidy, who's had to be the one who be on the hook for talking about how he allowed that to happen. In fact, endorsed him because he said he would get some kinds of back and forth with RFK Jr. I want to show you guys what his response was to this whole thing yesterday. He said, I understand and applaud President Trump's desire to address this issue and support HHS. HHS should release the new data that it has to support this claim. The preponderance of evidence shows that this is not the case. The concern is that women will be left with no options to manage pain in pregnancy. We must be compassionate to this problem. People gave this sumbitch credit for that weak ass general roundabout message that he put on X. He said, I understand and applaud the president's desire. He started with that. What desire does Trump have to address the issue? He has no desire to address the issue. His desire is to sell the Dr. Oz's, scheme on his supplements. That's what his desire is. But number two, he says HHS should release the new data that it has to support this claim. What claim are you talking about, Bill? The preponderance of evidence shows that this is not the case. Not the case about what? He hasn't said what it is that he's talking about. Have you noticed that? He won't say what he's disagreeing with because he's afraid to say what he's disagreeing with. He literally never once said the president's words on autism today were wrong. Never said autism, never said he was wrong. He said, I would disagree the potentially a roundabout way that, the preponderance of evidence and, this claim. What claim, bro? He put a link instead to an Axios article. The headline says, Trump links autism to Tylenol, urges pregnant women not to take it. He wouldn't say it. He put it in a link so that people who want to continue to support him and Trump won't understand what it is that he's disagreeing with them about. We have to start understanding, even these guys that we give the credit to, look, the Republican came forward. Marjorie Taylor Greene is finally coming around. Look at Nancy Mace. They're all doing it. And they're doing it with this way where they can still escape actually being responsible and actually living up to supporting their constituents. They don't give a damn still. He's like, how do I cover my ass and then claim that I was telling the truth about this lie over autism and Tylenol? I got it. I won't say shit. I'll just post and let people give me credit for it. You know why? Because Bill Cassidy still runs ads like this.
Trump, Senator Cassidy, delivering for Louisiana. Cassidy stood with President Trump to pass one big beautiful bill, providing historic investments in border security and tax relief for working families, boosting American energy production and manufacturing. And Cassidy worked with President Trump to combat deadly fentanyl, delivering new penalties for drug traffickers. Call Senator Cassidy. Thank him for fighting for Louisiana and America.
Trump and Bill Cassidy work hand in hand. That's what Bill Cassidy wants to tell the people of Louisiana. That's not running nationwide. He wants to make sure people know. Trump, Cassidy, hand to hand. One big beautiful bill, up your life. So then after it fucks up your life, then Cassidy will go, well, according to the preponderance of evidence and the subject matter of the claims being made about the one big beautiful bill, I would cautiously disagree, because that's who these cowards are. They're still afraid of this rickety old liar. This is what Donald Trump wants the rest of the world to respond, how he wants the rest of the world to respond to his press conference yesterday. He really thinks he's onto something.
Tylenol is widely used in other countries too. As you make this announcement, do you expect your decision may affect
I
other
hope they
countries?
follow it, yeah. I hope they follow it. Yeah, other countries are, sell Tylenol. Some countries don't. I mean, I hear Cuba now. Again, you'll have to check this out. But I hear Cuba doesn't have it because it's very expensive, and they don't have the money to have it, or they don't want to spend the money to have it. They don't have Tylenol, and I hear they have essentially no autism. So you'll have to check it out.
That's the second, probably third time he mentioned how Cuba doesn't have any money or doesn't choose to have Tylenol. So they have no autism. But the main purpose there was he wants the rest of the world to follow his lead on these ridiculous thoughts about Tylenol, acetaminophen, and autism. Let me show you what the rest of the world thinks of what it is that that he should do with his recommendations. Available evidence has found no link between the use of paracetamol during pregnancy and autism, said the European Medicines Agency. Paracetamol, I'm probably saying that, paracetamol is a widely used name for Tylenol beyond the US. The EMA, again, the European Medicines Agency, said it would not be making changes to the region's current recommendations, maintaining that pregnant women should take the lowest effective dose of the drug for the shortest possible time and as infrequently as possible. A large amount of data from pregnant women who use paracetamol during pregnancy indicates no risk of malformations on the developing fetus or in newborns. Again, that's what they said to NBC News. The World Health Organization said that the evidence remains inconsistent regarding any link between the use of Tylenol during pregnancy and autism. Well, that's what the European Medicines Agency said. So they're out. Let's check that one. European Medicine Agency is out on following Donald Trump's dumbass. Here, let's try another part of the world. Australian health officials were among the first to reject these claims, labeling them a misrepresentation of the science. Australia's medicines regulator, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, together with the country's chief medical officer, issued a statement Tuesday saying it was joining other global medicines regulators in repudiating Trump's claims. Robust scientific evidence shows no causal link between the use of paracetamol in pregnancy and autism or ADHD, with several large and reliable studies directly contradicting these claims. Australia, check off the list. Big middle fingers to Donald Trump. I've got more. New Zealand's Ministry of Health reiterated its guidance had not changed, describing paracetamol as the safest medicine to take in pregnancy if you require pain or treatment for fever. A spokesperson for the German health ministry told NBC News that there was no link between taking paracetamol during pregnancy and developmental abnormalities. In certain situations, taking medication is necessary to avoid endangering the mother and unborn child. For example, in the case of a high fever. New Zealand, off the list. I really want to give you a full breakdown of how isolated this dumbass is making this country based on the rest of the world's general normal thinking. The UK's health regulator issued a similar statement stressing that paracetamol remains the recommended pain relief option for pregnant women when used as directed. Untreated pain and fever can pose risks to the unborn baby, so it's important to manage these symptoms with recommended treatment. Crazy. That's what Dr. Alison Cave, who's chief safety officer at the MHRA, said. Health Secretary Wes Streeting told ITV early on Tuesday, "I would just say to people watching, don't pay any attention whatsoever to what Donald Trump says about medicine." He told ITV that I wish he would tell CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, and all of them about it too, because apparently we're too stupid to get it ourselves. Last one, I promise. Spain's health minister, Monica Garcia Gomez, also called out Trump by his name, accusing him of ignoring all medical studies. Here's a quote from her. "Denialism not only destroys trust in science, it puts lives at risk. But who cares? Who cares? Who cares if people die? Donald Trump is trying to take your money. It's easier to take your money and you die than for him to have to deal with you griping about it all the time. So let's go ahead and kill people because they're too stupid to realize what it is that he's doing. But let's make sure that you go and buy Dr. Oz's pills as soon as possible so that, you can act like or feel safe that you're doing something because, this fascist in the White House told you to."